Not so loud. Oh, hi. I'm so glad you could make it. Only let's talk quieter, okay? Someone is always listening within these walls. I'm not paranoid, really. It's just I started noticing things, strange things. Look what I have. My secret diary. I hide it here because it's not safe to keep it at home. And in the local too. Anyone can look in there. Don't tell anyone, but I'm keeping observations on everything that happens in our cafe. And you know, really strange things are happening. So strange that sometimes I think maybe I'm going crazy. It all started about a month ago. I noticed one visitor, a gentleman in a great coat. He came every Thursday, exactly at 3:30 p.m. Ordered the same coffee, Americano, without sugar, and always sat at the table by the window. So proper, you know, with a middle-aged bird in a perfectly ironed shirt. His watch always showed the exact time. I checked. Here, look. I even made notes. March thick. March 30th. March 20th. The same thing every time. Comes in, orders, sits for an hour with his laptops, leaves. But then he disappeared. He didn't come on March 27th. I thought maybe the man got sick or left down But a week later, he showed up again. And this is where it gets really strange. It seemed to be him. The same bird, the same coat, even the same habit of wiping the table with a napkin before putting his elbows on it. But it wasn't him. Do you understand? This new gentleman in grey ordered a latte with caramel syrup, and he put out a tablet from his pocket. Not a leather diary like usual. And also, I swear his eye color changed. They were grey, now they're brown. Believe me, I compared everything. I have an excellent memory for faces and details. His eyes definitely changed, and the way he holds his cups and his jawline, everything is different. It's not the same person, but he acts as if he's always been exactly like this. Even the name of the credit card is the same: James Morrison. I started watching more closely, and you know what? He is not the only one. In the last month, five. Think about it. Of our regular customers disappeared and then came back different. Small details, you understand? Things a normal person wouldn't notice. But I notice. Did you hear that? No? I thought I heard something. Never mind. Listen. I thought, what if our cafe is some kind of, I don't know, a crossroads of worlds, or an exchange point? What if someone is taking people and sending though own in return. Agents of influence, you know? Or maybe they are clones or aliens studying humans. Do you believe me? Tell me honestly, do you think I'm going mad? Maybe I have, but then explain this to me. And then there is a girl with purple hair. She showed up here a month ago, always sat in the far corner with a thick book. I remembered her well because she had a tattoo on her wrist. The constellation Orion. She often left strange drawings on napkins. Look, I saved them. Two weeks ago, she stopped coming, and yesterday she appeared again. Similarly, the same girl, same purple hair, same tattoo, but she doesn't read books anymore. Now she is constantly writing something in a notebook, and the strangest thing, yesterday I was serving the next table where tourists from Japan were sitting. They were speaking their language, and of course I didn't understand anything. And suddenly this girl, she turned around and spoke them perfectly, fluently in Japanese. They were so happy, started chatting with her. And a couple of minutes later, some Italians sat down with her, and she just is easily switched to Italian. I distinctly remember that she used to speak only one language. Once, some foreign tourists came in. They asked her for directions, and she just gestured with her hands like, I don't understand. And now, suddenly, she speaks fluently in at least 3 different languages. I'm making a map of all these oddities. Look, I'm making where each replace person said, at what time, what they ordered. I'm trying to find pattern, because if I find it, I can predict who is next, or even maybe I can prevent it. Unless, of course, I disappear myself. You know, sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and think, what if I'm not me anymore? What if they replaced me too? And I just don't remember it. Listen, I have to show you something. I found it in an old recipe book. The book belonged to the former owner of the cafe, a certain Edna. Someone's coming. We'll continue in a minute. Not a word to anyone about our conversation. If I suddenly disappear, look for my diary. I under the floorboard, and don't trust anyone, especially those who act too normal. Phew, it was just Melissa. She walked past. Great that you stay. I wasn't sure you'd wait. Many would think I'm crazy. So, Where were we? Ah, yes. I have new evidence. And you know what? I know a longer thing. I'm going crazy. Because now I have this. See? It's a teaspoon. Ordinary silver spoon, but not quite ordinary. This spoon belonged to that girl with purple hair I told you about, remember? The one who suddenly started speaking in Japanese and Italian. She forgot it on the table yesterday, and okay, fine. I pocketed it. It's not stealing, it's evidence. I was going to return it, of course. But first, I wanted to examine it carefully. Look closely. What do you see? At first glance, a normal silver spoon. But if you look closely, see these tiny symbols on the handle. I photographed them and enlarged them. These symbols don't resemble any alphabet I know. I checked. It's not Sanskrit, not Arabic, not Chinese, nothing earthly at all. And the weirdest thing, I could have sworn that when I looked at them yesterday, they formed the word observer, and this morning they looked like Gordian. They changed. Do you understand? But that's not all. I continued my observations of the customers, and I noticed one pattern. All these replacements happened on a specific schedule. Every Thursday, when we have poetry nights, and every Sunday when we have jazz gatherings. It's precisely on these days that one of the regulars disappears and then returns changed. Look, I've noted down all these cases. James Morrison disappeared on Thursday, returned a week later. Emily Parker disappeared on Sunday, returned 10 days later. The girl with purple hair. Her name is Zoe. I found out from talking to the bartender. Disappeared on Thursday. Returned 2 weeks later. And here is something else interesting. They all sit in the same spots. Here, look, I drew a diagram of the cafe and marked these tables. See, if you connect this dot, it makes a pentagram, a classic occult symbol. Oh God, I only just realized this. What if our cafe is some kind of portal or a place for rituals? What if Mia knows about all this? I started noticing strange things about Mia's behavior too. She always appears exactly when these replacements happen, and also I saw her talking to the girl with the purple hair. They were standing by the service agents, and Mia handed her some kind of package. And then Mia touched her forehead, and it seemed to me that for a second Mia's eyes flashed with a bright blue light. I have to find out what's in that recipe book. Remember? I mentioned it. The book that belonged to the former owner, Edna. I found it in the archives. It looks very old, leather bound, with strange symbols on the cover. Here, look. I sketched the strange symbols on this book. I couldn't steal it. I mean, borrow it for research, because Mia keeps it in a safe. But I managed to get a good look at it and copy these signs. See, they look very similar to the ones I found on the spoon. Someone's coming. Quick! Hide this diary. Keep it safe. I think I'm being watched. If something happens to me, go to Melissa, that absent-minded cook. It seems she's the only one who hasn't been replaced yet. I'll continue the investigation. Next time I'll bring you a sample of the strange tea they only served to the replaced. There is something unusual about it, and I'll try to find out what hidden behind the service door to the basement where Mia goes on Thursdays. Lily, are you there? We have customers. Yes, Mia. Coming out. Just checking the napkins supply. Meet me in 3 days, same time. And be careful. Don't drink this jasmine tea if they offer it to you. And look closely at people's eyes. Real eyes can change color